recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
So excited about this session. Welcome to all of you who are joining today's session with Tinell Dickens. I'm so excited. Hi, Tinell. Good to see you today.
Hi, good to see you too. I'm excited as well.
I know today's session is going to be really, really powerful, and we are going to helping you to wake up to your purpose today. Tinell is such a powerful speaker and so honored to have her on this journey, and it's just been amazing. We connected last year, probably November, and the first time we had a conversation, I was actually blown away by your story and just the power of your voice. So I'm very excited to have all of you here joining for today's conversation. Please use the chat, introduce yourself to Tinell, let us know that you are here. So just a little bit, if you haven't connected with Tinell, I want to share a little bit more about her before her session begins. So Tinell Dickens is a master life coach, transformational coach, and international speaker. She is the founder of One Woman Movement, and that she equips emerging female leaders to overcome internal hindrances to their external success. Tinell believes that women in leadership play a key role in transforming the world for the better, and she dedicated to helping women overcome the hurdles and walk in destiny and success. So Tinell, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We have been having such an amazing journey already. If you haven't watched some of the lives with Tinell, definitely recommend you watching them. But today in this session, we are going to be transforming you and your life. So welcome for all of you joining. Leave a comment in the chat. Let us know where in the world you are and what you do. I'm just going to call out some names. So we have Alexandra, Ellen, Eloho, Geraldine, Grace, Joss, Carrie, Kristen, MP Atkins, Robin. Great to see you all. So leave a comment in the chat. Let us know that you are here, where in the world you are joining us from. Throughout this session, don't forget to follow Tinell on her social media channels and also tag her on social media as well as us at Women in Business and Women Thrive Summit. And we are going to be resharing it. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you have a mission. You're a woman on a mission with a powerful voice, and I want to set the stage for you to take it over. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm going to take myself off camera and the stage is yours. I'm looking forward to hearing this talk myself. Enjoy.
Thank you. Great. Thank you all of you that's on here. I'm so excited to be with you today. It is an honor to be here to just grace you, with this information, with these nuggets that I believe are going to change your life. I know you're not here by chance. I know you're here by purpose. My talk is called to waking up to your purpose, right? So all of you are here because you saw the title of this message and you believe that it had something to do with you. You believe that it was a time for you to wake up to purpose, and there were things on the inside of you that were sleeping that needed to awaken in this time frame. If you agree with me, please post in the chat. Let me see you in the chat. If you agree that this is a time for you to wake up to purpose and the fullness of destiny, please type in the chat. Let me see what you're thinking. Let me see what you're feeling in the chat. Please feel free. Yes, totally agree. Yes. Aloha. Yes. I see all the responses in the chat right now. And when I was thinking about what to speak about, there was a couple things that came across my heart for you, and I know that as I enter into this message today, as I speak to you today, I know that it's going to touch parts of you. So in your heart, I know it's going to awaken some things in you, and I want you to be very comfortable with that. I want you to understand that the process I'm going to take you through today is something that's so necessary to unlock you, right? To unleash you and to allow the limitlessness that you are to come forth. I know we hear some words, we hear empowerment, we hear purpose, and these words sometimes can be thrown around. But as I enter into this session with you, I want you to be open to change. Change is a big word. Anytime you're speaking about working up to purpose, you are speaking about changing, right? Changing something, changing somehow, changing in some way, right? So for each one of you, if you're here today, that means that you are in a place where you're ready to change. Somebody type change in the chat. Type change for me. If you're ready to change, type change, right? Awakening to purpose requires that you change. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, right? When I was 2 years old, I told my mom that I wanted to speak. I wanted to speak to people. I wanted to change the world. You know, you have those childhood visions and things that were on the inside of me that I wanted to do. Somehow, some way, I know that I was supposed to speak to people. And then as my destiny unfolded, I knew I had to speak to women. And here I am, right in front of you. I went through a lot of things in my life. I went through, sexual abuse, physical abuse. I've been through just living in an area where there was like gang violence, and we went through a lot of poverty. I saw physical abuse in my family, my relatives. I saw people struggling for a dream, but not necessarily knowing how to accomplish that. And that's part of the reason why I decided that I wanted to come into a profession that helps people actualize and helps them get into their purpose. Right. So I have certifications I have a master's in life coaching. I also have a master's certification in transformational coaching. I'm a master life coach, and that means to me not just that I can tell you, hey, you know what, I can help you along the way, but it means to me that I've equipped myself to help people that I know that are here to be able to move forward concerning their purpose and their destiny. Right. So my dream was you. And I'm sitting here because in my childhood, there was something that I saw that directed me like an arrow towards coming here to speak to you and to speak to all the other people that I speak to, and to speak to all the people that I coach. So there was an arrow, an arrow, a compass that turned in your direction that says, Tinell is a child, but right now, we're building this in her so she can come speak to them. And I think for some of you that's on here right now, you're in this workshop, you're in this place, you're on Women Thrive Summit, because somewhere in you, you know that there's something bigger, there's something great, there's something grand. You know that where you are right now is not where you're going to be in 10 years. It's not where you're going to be at the end of this year. And you want to figure out, how do I break past my limitations and where I am right now into where you feel like you need more fullness. You're like, I know what I've done, but I feel what I can be. And sometimes our knowing is greater than just our intellectual knowledge. A lot of times our dreams are more intuitive. It's something that we feel and we sense. And as children, we sense it a whole lot. My question to you is this here. What's your dream? What's your dream? I'm not talking about the dream that you formulated because of your fears. I'm talking about the dream, the real dream. You know, that dream that scared you, that dream that shook you up a bit, that dream where you felt like, okay, well, wait a minute. I don't know, like, can I do this? That dream. I'm talking about the real dream. Because sometimes we alter our dreams because of our fears. We alter our dreams because we're not too sure if we can do it. We alter those things. I want you today, as you sit in here discovering your purpose and waking up to it, I want you to start from a place of truth. What's the true dream? I want you to sit there and think about it. What's your real dream? I'm talking about that dream that made you feel like you were a child again, where you could play and you knew that you could fill in the colors and you knew that it made you expansive and that you didn't have to be fearful or limit yourself. I'm talking about that dream that you knew that within your heart that was the real deal. That was a real thing. That dream I'm talking about. As if we don't start from a place of truthfulness when we're speaking about awakening to our purpose, guess what? We go about it in an altered way. It's almost as though we're twisted and contorted, and everything about our path is not sure. It's full of uncertainty, and we're not too sure about what's going to happen from place to place. And we feel a little bit like we are functioning as 2 or 3 different people. We are not truthful. We don't have that equilibrium, that balance, that alignment that we need because we're not functioning from a place of truth. So for those of you that are on here, I want to ask you, what is your real dream? The real one. Think about it. What's your real dream? Now, I'm here to commit to pouring out to you as you're here. I'm here and I'm committing that as I go through this with you, that I'm going to pour out all that I can in this workshop. But I want you to do something for me. I want you to commit that you're going to give you all on this workshop, that you're going to commit to you, that you're going to commit to your dreams, that you're going to commit to your aspirations, that in this workshop here, that you're going to commit to telling yourself the truth. I want you to Let that dream that's stuck behind fear come forth. Let that dream that's stuck behind everything that people said you could not do, let it come forward. Every single thing that was like a defense mechanism that stands up inside of you, when you're like, I'm too scared, I can't do this. I want you to work past those things, and I want you to dare to dream your biggest dream as we are in this workshop. I want you to dare to do it. Here's why. Because when you stand at a place of truth and you dare to dream your biggest dream, you find that purpose begins to evolve and come forth, because you can't stand in the truth of your dreams and not feel compelled to move forward and do something great. It's impossible for any one of you that's on here to not do something great when you fully give that dream a bear hug, right? When you give that dream a big old bear hug and say, you know what? I was holding back, but now I am unlocking, I am unleashing, and I'm unloading. But now I'm embracing that. And now I'm going to sit down and think back to when I was a child. I'm going to try to figure out, where did I gain these defenses from? And how can I deactivate them? I want to get to childhood. The thing about it is that what happened to us in our childhood, it affects our future. It affects our future. Like for me, someone like me, for instance, I won't use you as an example. I can't see you yet, but for me, I saw where at times I was so fearful that I began to create excuses about my purpose. I began to say, well, you know what? Well, I can't go up and speak, technically, because I don't have influence because of something else. And you find it was a long trail, but nevertheless, when I sat down in all quietness and honesty, I understood that no matter what, there was a dream, there was a purpose and a vision that kept calling on the inside of my heart. And I know for those of you that are on here, you're sitting in your living rooms, you're sitting in your offices, you're sitting where you are, and there's something inside that keeps calling. You hear it loud. Even when you're quiet, you're hearing it calling to you. It's purpose calling to you while you're sleeping, saying, wake up, Melissa, wake up, Jessica, wake up, Eloho, wake up. It's time to arise past your fears and into your place of conquering. When you tune into purpose from your belly, from your gut, from the part that's gritty, right? From the part that like, I gotta run through the mud for this one. I gotta climb for this one. I gotta brace up that courageous me for this one. When you tune into purpose from that place, you recognize that from the gut, the center, the core of you, you can't shut it down. Purpose is like a GPS. When you said that location is set in you, it reroutes you back to it. No matter where you go, it will reroute you. So you're supposed to be one thing, but you're another, and it reroutes you. Purpose will keep rerouting you just so you accomplish it. Purpose will keep calling you just so you hear it. Purpose will keep pulling out you just so you are aware of it. I'm talking about your purpose, waking up to what's inside you. Every one of you is different. Every one of you has something different that's been in you, that's invested in you. You know what? Every one of you has something so unique and special. I have something unique. But the thing about it is that purpose calls on us to get back to a place of childlikeness. It calls us to be unafraid and to be daring. Purpose calls on us to function without restrictions. How many of you can feel that? If you can feel that, just message in the chat. Just tell me, I feel it. I feel it. Message in the chat. Let me know that you're feeling it. But I want you, in terms of your childhood, I want you to ask yourself, where did your fears come from? I know you're sitting there and you're seeing your dreams, right? You're seeing what you can be. When we see what we can be, we get afraid. It's like an intimidation that rises up. But where did you learn that fear from? Think back. When you look at your childhood, I don't just want you to look at it in terms of just looking at your past. I want you to look at it like a timeline. So from point to point to point, there are major things that have happened. What about that time when you were told that you couldn't do it? What about that time that you became fearful because you saw somebody try it and they failed? What about that time when you tried to do it and you failed? I want you to look at that timeline, because the thing about it, from childhood to where you sit, stand, or you're twirling, dancing, whatever you're doing, where you are right now, there are times that you have to look at, not just like looking at a memory, but looking at what happened in you. For some of you, something happened. Something happened. You believed, you believed, you believed. You pressed, some of you prayed, you cried, you spoke it to someone, you did the courses, but something happened that shut you down. Something happened that caused you to change what you believe concerning your purpose. Something happened. You were impacted by storms. You were impacted by life. You were impacted by opinions. And now you're sitting there with yourself and you're wondering, oh my goodness. You have to sit down and take an account for the experiences that happen along your timeline and pay close attention to how they affected you and begin to clean up the damage. For the significant person that told you you couldn't do it, for the abuses you experienced, for the lies that you were told, for those that thought they knew you but didn't know you and told you something about yourself that was not really true, but you embraced it. I'm talking about purpose and awakening to purpose, because some of you, your purpose is stuffed down by all these experiences. Impact, tragedies, trauma, brokenness, sadness, all these things, discouragement, hopelessness. Your purpose is being stuffed down. And every time it tries to come up, it gets pressed back down because we haven't dealt with those things that's sitting on top of it. Your purpose, you. This is how we wake up. Our experiences can lull us to sleep. It's like that sweet sleep that comes upon you when you know you should be awake, but you're like, oh, this feels so good. Yeah, I can just give up responsibility. I don't have to be afraid anymore. I don't have to try so hard and keep failing anymore. I don't have to do, but are you going to be satisfied is my question. Because you see, just like purpose keeps rerouting you, you're going to keep hearing what you were born to be every day. Every time you see those people that you were supposed to speak to, every time you see that person doing something that you know you can do better, purpose is going to call and say, you see, that was supposed to be you. You see, you can do it better. Your purpose will come back up. So for those of you that are on here, I want you to begin to commit to purpose. And I want you to ask yourself, what impacted you? How were you impacted? How were you impacted? And then what did you believe? What did you believe? Your mindset. What did you begin to believe about yourself just because you went through something? I believed I was ugly. I believed I was not enough, right? I believed that I couldn't do it. I believe that, here's what, everybody's saying they're unstoppable, but that word seems really intimidating. I did that too. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I told you I was gonna pour. I did that too. There were things I started and I didn't finish because I just quit because I was too scared. Had nothing to do with the task. It had to do with the fact that I was scared. I just want to type it to you to type something in the chat for me really quickly. If you are afraid of your own purpose, and I know this is gonna be the hard one, y'all, but listen, we haven't gotten to the place where you leap yet, right? But I want you to say, I feel afraid at times. Just type it in. I feel afraid at times. How many of you feel scared at times when you see what you could become? Type it in the chat. I feel afraid at times. Yeah, I understand completely. I feel afraid. I feel scared at times. We're intimidated by our purpose. We're intimidated by what we could be, right? Yeah, I feel afraid at times. We all feel fear. We all feel scared at times. When you see your potential and you're faced with your present, you get intimidated because you don't know how to bridge the gap. When you see your potential and you have those same thoughts, you're like, how do I pull me out of my childhood, out of my trauma, out of my fears, out of my hopelessness, out of my discouragement, and pull me toward a new future? That's going to take a metamorphosis, right? It's going to take a change, and it's going to take a change in mindset. right? I remember when I was young, and there was this policeman that lived next door to me, and he lived next door to me, and I would wear, like for me, I was always kind of different. So in Trinidad, there's this thing called pum pum shorts. I don't know who's Caribbean here, but pum pum shorts is a very, very, very short pair of pants that I didn't want to wear, but a lot of people were wearing them. And I decided, I said, you know, when I was a child, I said, you know what? I'm going to speak to people all over the world. I'm going to travel all over the world. I'm going to do so much great things that I, at this stage, want to manage my image. Can you imagine that? At a child, I believe some things about me. You see, that's a pure place of already knowing. That's before all the stuff happens to us. Isn't that what happens, right? So at that stage, he asked me, he said, why do you speak like that? Why in the Caribbean that says, hey, girlfriend, how you doing? Why is it that you choose to not break up your English and speak properly? You know, why is it you choose to dress a certain way? You know, why are you choosing some of the things? I said, sir, because I believe I'm going to speak to people all over the world, because I know I'm called to something great. What did you tell someone when you were young that you stopped saying because you just stopped believing? That mindset is what we have to shift. Huh? That is what we have to shift. My question to you is this: are your thoughts, your thoughts that you think every day, your thoughts that you're continually utilizing, are your thoughts partnering with your dreams? Yes or no? Are your thoughts partnering with your dreams? When we deal with mindset, we're dealing with how are you programmed up here to execute out here? How are you functioning up here? Is there a proper management system going on up here? Are you properly working things out here? Because listen to me, if we don't deal with our childhood, we don't deal with that timeline up here, oh man, you'll have a battle going on here that slows you down outside here. Because before you can get to walking out those things you know you should walk in, here's what happens. Fear comes up and say, you can't do it. You got to battle fear, right? Something else comes up. You got to battle that. And you are battle worn by the time you get to saying, I can do it. And some of you never get to the place where you say, I can't. I want you to think about, look at those thoughts in your mind. Those things that you know every time you have an opportunity, it comes up and it stops you. That thing that your brother said, I hate to pull out brothers, we love them all, right? Okay, but it's okay. Let's talk the truth now. You know, but the thing that your brother said, excuse me, your mother said, your father said, those close in relationship with you said, your community said, those in your school said, those things that you said. And sometimes those can be the worst ones. When we look at ourselves and say, you're not enough. Those can be the most hurtful words, because at that point in time, we believe it. It's no longer society. It's us, right? It's us. Those of you that are on here, I want you to post in the chat really, really quickly and say, I can do it. Type in, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I want you to say that because I want us to start off there. I can do it. I, like I am. I is a very intimate letter, like another word, technically word and letter, you know, but I is very important, because when we begin to say I, it really becomes personal, doesn't it? We is one thing, they is one thing, but I, when we say I am smart, I is impactful, right? But I want you to know you can do it. And I want you to type, I can do it, because that's what you need to say to yourself. But you also need to locate those things from your childhood that is affecting your thinking right now. And you need to find out where along the line you adopted certain mindsets that are still there, certain things that are still haunting. Another thing I want you to address is your mistakes. Mistakes. Ooh, the M word, right? Mistakes. Some of you are still steeped in the regret of your mistakes. And because of that, you refuse to move forward. You're stuck. It's like an accident happened at that spot where you made that mistake. Huh? It's like a major life event happened at that spot where you made that mistake. And you just cannot get past the guilt, the condemnation of that mistake, you're not moving forward. To awaken to your purpose, you got to look at your childhood. You got to deal with the mindsets, but you got to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for the opportunities that you missed. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you didn't think about it. Maybe you just didn't choose it. Maybe you were too scared. Whatever it is, you have to let it go. You can't wake up. You can't sit up. You can't get up if something's on top of you. There's no way you can do it. All that weight is going to make it 10 times harder, 100 times harder to be able to step into anything that pertains to you. Okay? So for those of you that are on here, I want you to type in forgive myself. Forgive yourself. Yeah, Carrie, I see you. Melissa, I see you. Forgive yourself. Your regret is holding you down. Y'all, I have made horrible mistakes. You wish you could just say if there's a camera reel, that like that old fashioned one, and just cut it out and mesh them together, but we can't do that. And the thing about it is that when we look at our future is colored by the things that we walk through, even your mistakes. Your mistakes allowed you to learn things, to grow in areas, to develop, to have new perspective that you didn't have before you made them. Your mistakes highlighted parts of you that you wouldn't know you needed to grow in. Your mistakes also allowed you to learn so many different lessons at the same time. There's some things we learn from mistakes that we never learn from success. Our failures teach us so much, right? So for those of you that are on here, forgive yourself. Some of you have said to yourself, you know what? 5 years ago, I could have done this. 10 years ago, I could have done this. My friends are doing this. My girlfriends are doing this, And I'm nowhere yet. That's what you're saying. Some of you are like, I could have been years ahead if my life were not like this. If I made another choice as well. The if, ands, and the buts can come in and they can impact us, or we can see them and we can just wave bye-bye because we're not engaging with them. Here's why. Because we can see them and choose not to allow them to make us function in regret or in unforgiveness toward ourselves. We need to be our whole self for our future. We need to be our whole self for our future. You see, you take who you are every single place you go to. That means that everything from your childhood to now is walking in you. If you didn't deal with it, if you dealt with it, all of it is there. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly all there inside you. You don't get to give up a part of it. You get to correct it. You get to heal it, and you get to move through it, but it's still there. You still have that little scar where you can give a story about something that you learned. It's all in you. It never leaves. When you get hurt, you heal. And in that spot, it's still there that you can testify about your healing, that you can say, this is my story. For those of you that even tell your life story, you can speak about it because you remember it, because it's there. Yes, I see you, Ellen. Battle scars. They're there. And your scars are a testimony of the things that you've walked through. So when we sit in regret, we deny our scars and every lesson they taught us, and every person we have to speak to, even with our voice, with our story, and give our lessons to. We deny that. When you deny your mistakes, you deny yourself and the very integral parts of you that actually taught you the most. From your childhood to now, all of that is still walking in you. What you're healed from, what you were broken, what broke you, what hurt you, all of that is still there. Now, the brokenness might be in healed form, right? And the wounds might be in scar form, but it's still you. And all of it is necessary. All of it. Every mistake you made, everything you walked through is necessary. And for some of you that's walking in places where you're not healed yet, to awaken to your purpose, you got to heal that spot. For some of you, it's like this, right? You have that spot and you keep covering it. Situation comes up and someone gets too close to touching that place where you're hurt, you cover it. But you know what? It's time for you to deal with it. As you deal with that place, guess what? You won't have shades on concerning parts of your destiny, your story, your abilities that you're scared of. You put that shade down and look your situation straight in the face and say, you know what? That is a part of me. Own your whole self. Do you hear me? Own your whole entire self, the whole pie, the whole pizza. Own the whole thing. Your story is necessary for your future. Your ups and downs are necessary for your future. So don't disqualify or discredit yourself just because you had a hiccup in your story, a fall in your story, a bad decision in your story, a failure in your story. All of it is still you. And that colors you. It colors what you can become because your perspective is so unique. Right? So in awakening to your purpose, childhood till now, carry it all. The whole thing. Huh? I want to ask you a question, right? When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be remembered for? I want you to put that in the chat. When everything you're like, okay, whether it's like beam me up, Scotty, or Jesus, you're here, or whatever it is, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for, world changers? What do you want to be remembered for, Women Thrive? What do you want to be remembered for? I want to see, what do you want to be remembered for when it's all said and done? How are you going to make your mark? When it's all said and done, who are you going to say that your life impacted, your story impacted? Who are you going to say that this struggle was real good because I got to do this? Yeah. Let me see you. Yeah. Your kindness, huh? Mental health awareness, amazing. When it's all said and done, what do you, your passion. When it's all said and done, I'm going to be known for raising up women who change the world. And that's you. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be known for? Who do you want to impact? Where do you want to go? Who do you feel compelled or called to? When it's all said and done, I want you to know, I want you to think about that. Because that question is so important, right? It's so important for where you're going to. But the other part of it is this. At the end of the day, what limitations are causing you to pull back, right, from that outcome? What's rising up in you, that's been in you the whole time, that you haven't healed from, you haven't grown past, you haven't overcome yet, you're going to, right? What Goliath, what mountain, what obstacle, what fear, what hopelessness, what shame, what shame is standing in front of you, looking at you in the face, telling you you can't do this. That's limiting you from thinking the thoughts you need to assist your future. What is standing in front of you? Amazing women, women of purpose, women of vision, women that can rise up and do anything like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lioness. What's stopping you? Where did it come from? Who told you that? Who told you you couldn't do it? At what point in time in your timeline was that said to you? What point in time did you feel like you were insufficient, that you were not enough? Find that place and heal on that spot so that when it's touched, you don't have that knee-jerk reaction to pull back and sabotage your dreams. Got to find that place. A lot of things are hinging on you being healed. To awaken to your purpose, you got to embrace the fullness of who you are. You got to embrace the fullness of your dream and don't deny it. You need to be able to allow your thoughts to support your future. You got to heal. And you got to understand that when it's all said and done, your purpose matters. Your future matters. Who you are matters. And that means that you have to wake up. Okay, so I want to open up really quick. I'm going to look at some of the comments in the chat here really quickly. Okay. Yeah, I see. I want to be remembered for, I guess, a woman who was teaching other women to have multiple streams of income and empowered them to follow their dreams. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Yeah. Betrayal by my sisters. I see that in there, Ellen. Yep, that's a toughie. That's really hard. Now I'm going to open up to a couple questions, and Ellen, if you want to ask a question as well, that's fine. You know, for any one of you that's on here, I want to open up to questions because I want to make sure that I address this, right? So we know that to wake up to purpose, we need to address our childhood, because everything that's sitting on top of our dreams is going to keep us sleeping. It's going to keep us from waking up to the reality of what we can accomplish, right? We know that we have to deal with our mindsets and the things that are affecting us, where our thoughts are not partnering with our dreams. We have to deal with our thoughts. We know we have to heal in places. We have to forgive ourselves, and we have to get rid of all that regret. And we know we also need to find out, when it's all said and done, right? When it's all said and done, what we want to be remembered for. So I want to just open up the floor for questions. Does anybody in here have a question? I'm going to answer your question, good, well, and proper. So I want you to post your questions inside of the chat. For all you that's on here, you brave, amazing, strong, empowered women that's on here, I want you to post your questions in the chat just so I'll be able to answer you. Thank you so much, Caroline. I appreciate that. Post your questions in the chat so I'll be able to answer you. If there's anything that you did not get answered during my session, I want you to just post it in here so that I'll be able to answer it for you. So while I'm waiting on that, what I want to do is I want to post a link. I have a freebie that's available to you. But I'm also going to post my social media handle for Instagram inside of this chat, just so you are able to get a hold of me if you need to, so that you can see things that I have to offer if it benefits you in any way whatsoever. But post your questions here so that I'll be able to answer them.
Tinell, what a powerful session. I was just checking the chat and it's just blowing up. Ladies, was that transformational or what? I'm so excited for women on this particular talk, because this is the beginning of your journey. And I'm so excited. Tinell, that was phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I see a couple questions in the chat as well. I see one question that says, how do I get past the wound of being torn down by other women? Listen to me, that's a real wound, because I've had that happen, you know. And one thing that I had to tell myself, and this is just, I had to put things into perspective and understand that my dream is my responsibility. Ooh, I know, I didn't feel comfortable when I thought that. I thought to myself, no, I want to just be sad. I want to be upset. Let me have my time to feel mad, you know. But I had to recognize that my dream was my responsibility, and that everybody around me will not have perspective on my dreams. Not just women, but my family, those that are very close to me, it's my husband, my children, everybody will not have perspective, because my dream comes from me. So I had to take responsibility for that dream and understand that a vision means I see it. My vision means I see it. I see it. And through my eyes, only I can see, you know, and other people may not be able to. So therefore, it's just me letting that go, and letting go sometimes when people don't understand, forgiving them and understanding, you know what, they don't know. So that's okay. You know, I had to just leave that alone and just let go what was said and what was not understood, and just leave it at that. They just did not understand it. Change the perspective. So if we think, you know what, they're being malicious, they're being this, let's flip it up. Let's say, you know what, they don't know and they don't understand, because I'm carrying this. That's a different perspective. Once you shift it, you're going to approach it differently. All right, I'm seeing another question. What was the next question after what stops me? That's a good question, because I don't know. You know, there's so many questions here. What stops you? I'm not too sure what that was. I'm sorry, you know, because some things are flow and some things are written. I have stuff written and some flow. I'm sorry about that. If you have another question, you can definitely ask it. Great. All righty. So if there are no more questions, I am going to, wait a minute. My ex-husband told me for years. Okay, I see you, Angelica. My ex-husband told me for years that I was hopeless and could never succeed in anything. I still have serious self-doubt. How do I get past this? Yeah, I understand it. There's a lot of people that spoke really negatively to me, even when I was younger. Man, there is some stuff, I can't even say it here because the language was horrible. There's things that people said to me in terms of me being just real stupid and ignorant and all kinds of stuff. You're stuck, you're never going to make it. All those things came out at me. And I had to, for one, decide that I was going to work past those things. That's the first thing. I had to say, I am going to choose to work past it. I had to understand that the individual that was saying it, they're probably flawed and broken too, and I had to take responsibility for my own emotions. It's really going to the root of it and finding out why that word stuck. And sometimes repetition makes it stick, but sometimes we have to deal with the evidence. Okay, what evidence do you have? You have to put those thoughts on trial. What evidence do you have that what he's saying is true? 9 times out of 10, if you really look at yourself, your potential, your dreams, you look at yourself and what you've done, what you're capable of, you're going to see that as you put that thought on trial and begin to deal with it, that thought has no ground to stand on. So you discredit what's been said. I hate to, but you discredit what's been said because it's not true. I bet you that you are not hopeless and that you have full potential and that there's a lot about you that still needs to be discovered. So put that thought on trial. Don't allow it to win. And you find out what about you is counter that statement. Okay. And also put that statement on trial and find out what places it's just not true. Because something is repeated often doesn't mean it's true. So I believe that you can look at you and see all the places, that thought does not have any ground to hold in. And you have to reaffirm those things to yourself as an ongoing basis. Find new experiences that affirm you and build you up so that you can get past that thought process. Yeah, I see you. Manager, write down the experience. Thank you so much. Follow-up solution after I have identified what stopped me. Follow-up solution after identify this. Is it Bonji? If I'm pronouncing your word wrong, your name wrong, I'm sorry. But follow-up solution after you've identified what stopped you. After you identify what stopped you, you need to identify the thoughts that took place and what happened to you at that time. What thoughts were you thinking at that time? And then you begin to pull apart those thoughts and find out the root of it, right? Okay, so I believe that, somebody told you something and you want to be a movie star and somebody told you that, okay, you're not so smart, you're not so beautiful or what, something like that, and you believe that I'm not beautiful, right? Okay, you have to start with that. Why did that affect you so much? What did you feel in that moment? You have to begin to dig deep into that experience and find out how you were impacted so that you get to the root of it. And I'm going to wrap up right now. Thank you so much. Listen, y'all, it was such an honor to be able to serve you like this. It was such an honor, to be able to just share how you can wake up to purpose. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Ramonda. I'm done.
Wow, ladies, how amazing, groundbreaking, powerful this session was. We all got places where we can heal. And, when we speak, not speak from a place of pain, but a healing. And I know this session has brought so much comfort to all of you today. Such a powerhouse, Carolina. Yes, thank you so much. Tinell Bongi says, thank you. This is so true. Write down the evidence to prove that you're capable and that you do to succeed. As I said, success is what does success really means to you and what do we need to go through in order to get to that stage. And we all have gone through difficult situations, difficult life experiences, but you are still here. You're still here. You're still fighting that battle. You're still here and we can still rise. And I said that this year, I really see this as women rising. And when I say rising to our power, rising to our purpose. And what Tinell was speaking about, awakening to your purpose, realizing that actually you're limitless. There are so many things that you can do. And just seeing these women on our summit today, it gives me that evidence that, we are limitless. And when we come together, we're even more powerful to move mountains and shake the ground underneath our feet. And certainly, Tinell, you have done that today. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Now, how can ladies stay in touch? What free gifts? You have shared the free gift already. How can ladies stay in touch with you?
Yeah, you can stay in touch with me through Instagram at Tinell Dickens. You see my name, Tinell. It's different, yeah. But Tinell Dickens, you'll see me on Instagram, or you can go to One Woman Movement on Instagram and you can be in touch with me there as well. My website is also One Woman Movement, the number one woman movement. So you can get on there. You can email, all the information's on the website, and it'll be a pleasure to serve you.
Yeah. Well, Rhoda said, I wish you were my therapist. Oh, Jen, amazing job. Thank you for the power and energy. It was uplifting and powerful. I told you, I told you in the last session that you don't want to miss it. So, ladies, if you have enjoyed the session, please do make sure you share the summit because we've got 5 more days and I think 3 more speakers today and panels every single day that you can take part in networking and other opportunities. I would want to watch this on replay like every morning. So if you're like me who want to watch Tinell's talk and other talks on replay, do make sure you upgrade your ticket for the Women Thrive Summit for only £100. You can get access to all the summit replays today and throughout the week, as well as the digital swag bag contributed by amazing experts and the previous 2 years summit replay. So that's 100 hours of inspiring, motivating, uplifting, transformational content featuring amazing women from all around the world, from all backgrounds, all walks of life stories. And I know your life is going to be transformed. Tinell, have we got anything contributed towards our swag bag that you have added?
Yes, I actually have a full, I have a one-time access to my community. On April the 4th, we're going to be dealing with overcoming indecision. So, hey, you got it in there in the swag bag. So for those of you that want to be a part of it, you can go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, tell me more about your community.
My community is called 1WM Club. My gift is raising up women who change the world. That's exactly what I do. You know, I help women overcome internal hindrances to their success because I found that a lot of it is not necessarily our qualifications and our, you know, like that what we studied. It's the things that we've been through that really, really hold us back. So my community is all about raising up women and helping them work past those things and allowing them to succeed.
Wow. And this gift you have inside the swag bag is one, how long is the access to your community?
It's a one-time access on April the 4th to my community, and we're going to be dealing with overcoming indecision on that day. So usually there's a packet that goes along with it, or there's questions, there's things that you get to, you'll be able to get to on that day, take away with it. Every time we have workshops, there's something you receive. So for those of you that are a part of it, we're gonna walk you through it, but we also do group activities where we break out into group sessions, and you're able to work along with other phenomenal women that are really pressing forward to purpose.
Wow, you don't want to miss it. So if you have upgraded your ticket, do make sure you check out that in the swag bag. Register for Tinell's session that she will be delivering. Yes, that's such amazing content, Tinell. I really, really appreciate you being here on this platform, serving our ladies here today. And I hope we stay engaged. And, you know, ladies, please do follow Tinell across her social media channels, because I can't wait to see what else you're going to be bringing out into this world. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
If you have enjoyed this session, do make sure to upvote it, share it on social media, let us know that how you have enjoyed, any takeaway points that you have had from today's session. Quote her, quote Tinell. I know there has been some gems dropped in today's session. Next up, I have a session to talk about how to raise your authority. How can you elevate your authority and become the go-to expert in your field? If you're looking to become the go-to expert, elevate your brand, land more speaking opportunities, land more media opportunities, today's session is going to be practical on becoming the go-to authority in your field. So make sure you grab yourself, walk around a little bit, stretch your feet, get yourself pen and paper or a cup of tea. I've just made myself a cup of tea, so we're going to be having fun. On to the next session in 10 minutes, how to grow your authority and become the go-to expert in your field. Thank you all so much for joining for today's Tinell's talk today. I have watched you in the chat. Wow, ladies, I hope you really enjoyed this today. And that's all for now. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you on to the next session. Take care for now. Bye-bye.